skipper's done it. Danaher! Beautiful chapter it is for the Bombers.
All right, we put the call out there. We've got some questions on Twitter for the great man Kevin Sheedy. I'm going to kick it off. Sheeds, Ron Blair has asked, and I think I know why, did you ever meet Robin Williams? Because let's face it, you are a fantastic separator of birds.
Billy Brownless reckons I am.
Doppelganger.
No. Billy introduces me at sports functions and Australia's own Robin Williams and all that. But no, look, I didn't. But I love watching his shows and the movies. But God, I've seen him on stage, and he can swear a bit. This bloke.
He's very funny.
He's very funny, but sad the way he died. Obviously, he had a tough life by the look of it early doors, with his dad being an executive for a big
comedians.
company.
They're tortured souls.
They are actually. I've tried that and it didn't work. But yes, I've been called Robin every time, but never got to meet him. But loved it. Loved all his movies.
Just quickly, who's the most famous person you've ever met?
Oh, Shirley Ferguson and the Queen.
Yeah. Oh, you did meet the Queen?
1970, she came out there. And
Well,
I have a photo shaking hands with the Queen, and on the MCG. And of course, she would be the most famous, I'd say.
Can you do me a favour?
I don't know.
Say good day next time.
No, well, Kevin Bartlett, every time Kevin Bartlett drags out the I met the Queen thing, can you one-up him on that?
Oh, mate, I love
Jeez, I'm tired of that story,
It's hard to one up Kevin Bartlett because he's been the king of Moomba, he's done everything else. He never got in the team of the century.
Does that grate on him?
I reckon it would.
Yeah, I reckon it would too.
I mean, I was him, it would. I mean, Greg Williams got there, and I think Bartlett was a better player than Greg Williams. But anyway, that's my story.
Now, Sheeds. Why did I call you Sheeds? Scotty, you got one off Twitter.
Greg from Weirite off Twitter asks, your proudest achievement in football, on field or off field?
Off field? Probably the two that I really enjoy is the AFL Sports Ready traineeship. We've produced 14,000 jobs for kids. So Bill Kelly, Ron Evans and myself, Simon Cream, we got that up and running, which is now a multi-mega million-dollar business. 750 kids get a job every year. 300 Indigenous boys and girls got a job this year. So that's probably the one that I really like, but obviously there's a lot of fun there. And then probably kickstarting Indigenous players back into the AFL when we had 28 players, Indigenous players that played AFL before Michael Long and Nicky Winmar. And then we have had 330 signed since. So that is amazing.
Longy really kicked it off, didn't he?
When you drafted Michael Long, was it purely on player, or did you look beyond that and think that this might be really important for the Indigenous people?
Oh, no, I think that was a part of everything, because Noel Juggins and I had discussed it, and we thought, well, why shouldn't we? We all locked in Melbourne, and we're talking in the VFL era, and our club was the only club going around Australia flying out playing practice matches all over Australia in the VFL days, not in the AFL. Of course, now it's called the AFL. Yeah, so we actually got the VFL off its bum and out there having a good look, and now it's called, now we've got 18 clubs. I don't think that would have happened as quick if the Bombers hadn't been doing that.
Can I just tell you, when Longy turned up, so it was the end of 1988, I was with the Age, Michael Stevens with The Sun. We were the first two to interview Longy. It was the most monosyllabic interview I've ever done. I remember saying,
What's that mean?
He didn't talk much. We asked him, what do you know about the VFL? And he said, I know Mickey McLean. I said, well, what about Dermot Brereton? He goes, see that big blonde guy that plays the Hawthorn? But when you look at what Longy has become, he must be really proud about it.
Oh, look, I mean, to see these young men grow into people that should have been happening years earlier. I mean, look, we saw Polly Farmer and we saw Sid Jackson, one or two others, but probably that and the AFL Sports Ready. Yeah.
One more off Twitter and we'll wrap it up. Dave Jarvok says, what's next for you, Sheeds? Another themed game. Do you have one ticking away?
I have one, but I need to give it to another club. No, I don't think Essendon will get any more themed games.
What is it?
I can't tell you, but because I know what happens.
They've got enough out of you, the Bombers, haven't they?
No. I just think that other clubs need chances, and I agree with that. I'm not too uptight like some people are with Richmond and Melbourne on pre-Anzac Day night matches. I think that's not bad. We both got 80. They got 84. I think we got 89 in a wet day.
Yep.
So you know, like you get 170,000 odd people in 4 hours of footy. That's 4 hours is a game of gridiron. They will get 170,000 in America. Really, so when you say
Says a lot for our city, doesn't it?
Oh, this city is amazing. This country is amazing. We don't understand how really great a nation we are.
Thanks for the Twitter feedback, Bomber fans, and thank you, Shu. It's always a pleasure to chat, and hope Saturday night goes really well. I'm sure it will, and thanks again for your contribution.
It'll be a great match. You watch it develop over the next couple of years. You'll love it.
Get down there.